Okay. I just wanted to once again. I only have 1 second, so I'm just gonna keep it really short. But something pretty cool happened, and it happened because I've been able to really make this conscious decision over these past four years of kind of finding the opportunity for personal growth in obstacles. And I think that's been instrumental to my sobriety. And it just kind of goes along with perspective and having a positive mindset. And once you get your head right, that's all you have to get. And that's a great thing for people to know, because I think rehabs are kind of bullshit. This is a side note, but I think rehab is really kind of just I hate to say a money, a money racket or a money making racket or something, but it kind of is from my experience. Um, and and the 12 steps didn't work for me either. It seemed like there was a lot of I don't know, they called them old timers, people that are really into the 12 step program. And plus, at the time, I didn't really have anything that I could find as a higher power. And they said, well, you can use the 12 step program, that can be your higher power. And then there was this really cheesy, desperate thing where they're you can use this chair in the room, and that can be your higher power. And it's I just really wasn't feeling it. But now it's funny, now that I've gotten, have really worked on just my mind and being able to love myself and being able to live with the pain of existing. Um, because in addition to a lack of self love, I think addicts just have this natural kind of inclination to not handle pain, and everybody's life is half pain and half beauty and wisdom and whimsy, if you'll allow yourself to see it. But anyway, once I started to really accept myself, forgive myself, love myself, get to know myself, and just live from this place of authenticity, that came with a lot of perspective shifts. And it's funny, now I look back on the 12 step meetings, and I didn't think about it all the times that 12 steps were part of a required program that I had to go to. But you could really use yourself as your higher power, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm not following any 12 step program, but I just look at myself as my higher power. I mean, I do believe in God, not a Christian God per se. I mean, there could be a bunch of gods. They could be maybe God's an alien. I mean, that seems highly likely. So it's definitely not a Christian or any a religion perspective. But I do have this spiritual side, and I'm not scared to acknowledge that anymore. you know but I've just kind of taken myself and my goals and my dreams and just the person that I am working on becoming as kind of my higher self. And I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I just think it's really cool to focus on your goals. But anyway, before I got off on that tangent, a big thing about getting sober is just being able to like I said, live with the pain of existing sometimes. And I think really addicts just can't manage pain. And something that was a pretty cool example, I think, of kind of turning lemons into lemonade is that just a couple days ago, there was this program I wanted. It was actually a spirituality kind of course, and it was $29 a month, and you can cancel at any time, and that's the extent of it. It's just $29 a month. And I got kind of down because, my God, I have been doing the work and I have come so far, but I'm still, like I said, 4 years into sobriety. And right now, I just cannot afford, we cannot afford as a family this $29 added expense. I'm actually getting married in a few months, really a couple months, and there's a lot of expenses with that, and just just with life. Like I said, we're living like technically in poverty. We are living off of like one like a part-time job that my husband to be is like supporting the family with, and we get food stamps. But where I'm a felon, like we don't have we can't get like HUD housing or anything like that, so we can get food stamps, and that's been like really incredibly helpful. But it's money is tight, so tight that I just couldn't, if I had to, but I just couldn't justify spending $29, because truly like every penny is accounted for right now, and it has been for some time. And there was a part of me that was like kind of down about that, because I know what I'm working on, and I'm really about to take like this next step, and hopefully do something like lucrative with like a project I've been working on. But this has been like years in the making, and what I did when kind of just like the stress of life was bugging me, and it was really cool, was that because I've been quitting smoking for like 2 years now. Seriously, like I have been buying a pack here and there, and then I'll smoke for like a few weeks, and then I will chew like generic nicotine gum for a few weeks, and then I'll like buy a pack of cigarettes, and then I'll chew gum for a couple days, and sometimes I'll do both, which I guess is like extra bad. But smoking has been like a really hard vice for me to give up completely, because it's like my last real vice. But the good thing that has come out of money being so tight was that ever since like the deadline to join this like program, this monthly subscription program passed, and I didn't sign up for this course I really wanted to take, I haven't spent money on cigarettes, and I've just been chewing nicotine gum. And I know it's like a little thing, but I just could not justify buying a pack of cigarettes if money's that tight, which it was. And I think that not having that money to spend on, if money hadn't been so tight, I don't know that I would be like officially a non-smoker. That's why I'm always like chewing gum, because it's nicotine gum. But that's a great thing. So I'm a non-smoker now. That's awesome. And that was just kind of like a neat way that worked out. And at first, like I said, I was kind of down about it, about not having, just a little bit of extra spending money. But it was not having that money and not being able to get the thing I want was like just that final push that I've been looking for on and off for a couple years now, to really officially like be a non-smoker. And I swear, like I just feel like better already. I feel like more like spiritually in tune. I know that sounds crazy, but that's just like a little thing, one little example. COVID was another. That's like a huge example. When that first happened, I was like everybody, I was like scared and concerned, and like, oh my God, this is horrible, and it was horrible. But a couple months into COVID, what I did, instead of just like being like in a catatonic state practically, like my family members, some of my family members were just like glued to the TV, and were just like consuming this like hardcore fear porn like 24/7. And and those were, I don't think coincidentally, the same family members, hopefully they'll never see this, that like gained weight and have gotten like more noticeably less healthy since COVID kicked off. But what I did was my daughter was like let's see, October, was like 2 or 3 months old when COVID started back in 2020. And I took her out of daycare. At first that was like because I was scared, but ultimately what it did was I used COVID as a reason to really focus on my priorities. I so I got to spend like the first 2 years of her life with her, and focus full time on my writing project, which I'm finally ready to like submit to publishers. And I wanted to. There had been like a time period where it's like, man, I really feel like this is more than just journaling, but it was just a hobby. And then when COVID hit, it really kind of, I used it as like a chance to put things in perspective and become like a writer full time. And we didn't have, the money. We both, my partner and I, had both part time, like minimum wage jobs, and so I really could not afford in a lot of ways to quit my job. But luckily, because I'd done the work on myself when I was single, I met a partner that supported me in pursuing my dream. And you know what? We've made it work. And 2 years later, like, money is so tight that every penny counts. But as a result of that, I've quit smoking too, and I'm ready to submit my work finally to a publisher. So that's really exciting. This is just kind of like a ramble. I just wanted to share that because specifically like the $29 thing, and just like I said, the COVID example, and just every hardship there really is. Like, I thought it always sounded so hokey to be like, oh, there's a lesson to be learned in this, like, horrible thing, or just this not so great thing. But it's true, and when I was almost killed, I mean, my God, that was in a way, I kind of like, damn, I really like have scars. My like smile's kind of disfigured, but I have my life, and I have strength and wisdom and self-love and a passion and compassion for myself, which is something I never had before, because I couldn't live authentically, and I couldn't handle the pain of life. It just hurt to live, and it hurt to navigate in this world that did not feel made for me, or like I wasn't made for the world. But that was because, like I said, I didn't love myself, so I couldn't believe myself enough to carve out my own place in the world. And so I feel like it's all coming together, and I just wanted to share that. Sorry for rambling.